Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nicole Ali. This article is about Gina Haspel and a potential torture victim that was involved under her supervision. So, Gina Haspel is being considered to be sworn in as the new CIA director under Tangerine's administration. And this article comes from The Intercept. It says U.S. Navy Reserve doctor on Gina Haspel, torture victim, one of the most severely traumatized individuals I have ever seen. Published today. This is an image from the court proceedings. It starts off saying, an American doctor and Naval Reserve officer who has done extensive medical evaluation of a high-profile prisoner who was tortured under the supervision of Gina Haspel, privately urged Senator Mark Warner, the vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, to oppose Haspel's confirmation as CIA director, according to an email obtained by The Intercept. I have evaluated Mr. Abdal Rahim al-Nashiri as well as close to 20 other men who were tortured as part of the CIA's RDI, rendition, detention, and interrogation program. I am one of the only health professionals he has ever talked to about his torture, its effects, and his ongoing suffering. Dr. Sandra Crosby, a professor of public health at Boston University, wrote to Warner's legislative director on Monday. He is irreversibly damaged by torture that was unusually cruel and designed to break him. In my over 20 years of experience treating torture victims from around the world, including Syria, Iraq, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, also known as the DRC, Mr. al-Nashiri presents as one of the most severely traumatized individuals I have ever seen. Dang, what they do to the dude? Are they gonna say what happened? Okay, they go here to say Nashiri was snatched in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates in 2002 and rendered to Afghanistan by the CIA and eventually taken to the Cat's Eye prison in Thailand that was run by Haspel from October to December 2002. He was suspected of involvement in the 2000 bombing of the USS Cole off the coast of Yemen. I remember that. He is currently being held at Guantanamo Bay Prison. Despite Crosby's pleas, Warner and 5 other Democratic senators have announced their support for Haspel. There goes that Democratic liberal friend that we have. Warner backed Haspel after she sent him a carefully crafted letter designed to give the impression that she had changed her position on torture while simultaneously continuing to defend its efficacy. So basically the bitch was lying, all right? While I won't condemn those that made these hard calls, and I have noted the valuable intelligence collected, the program ultimately did damage to our officers and our standing in the world, Haspel wrote. With the benefit of hindsight and my experience as a senior agency leader, the enhanced interrogation program is not one the CIA should have undertaken. Haspel stated that she would refuse to undertake any proposed activity that was contrary to my moral and ethical values. But Haspel has refused to renounce torture, her role in its use, or to condemn the practice of waterboarding. In fact, under questioning from Senator Kamala Harris during her confirmation hearing, Haspel explicitly refused to say that the enhanced interrogation techniques she oversaw at a secret CIA prison in Thailand were immoral. The fact renders her pledge to Warner meaningless. It took her 16 years and the eve of a vote on her confirmation to get even this modest statement, and again, she didn't say she had any regrets other than it offended some people, said Senator Ron Wyden, Democrat from Oregon, a member of the Intelligence Committee. I urged Senator Warner to oppose Ms. Haspel, who did not have the courage or leadership to oppose the RDI program. wrote Crosby. She stated that some of the techniques used against Nashiri are still classified. In her letter to Warner, Crosby stated that among the known acts of torture committed against Nashiri at the site that Haspel ran and other facilities included. Okay, now they're going to get to the goddamn point. Come on now. Sorry, y'all. I be like, get to the point, y'all. Come on. Okay, so here we go. This is a list of torture techniques they used, which I'm not surprised by any of these because y'all know who we're dealing with. 1, suffocated with water or waterboarding. They put a t-shirt or some kind of cloth over your face, pour water down your, through the t-shirt down your throat. Subjected to mock execution with a drill and a gun while standing naked and hooded. Anal rape through rectal feeding. Threatened that his mother would be sexually assaulted. Well, they do that on a regular, even when you're not a prisoner like this. Lifted off the ground by the arms while they were bound behind his back, after which a medical officer opined that shoulders might be dislocated. So, yeah, these are some savages right here. On Wednesday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell informed senators that he was fast-tracking the vote in an executive session. If confirmed, the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table, the president be immediately notified of the Senate's action, that no further motions be in order, and that any statements relating to the nomination be printed in the record, read in an internal email obtained by The Intercept sent to Democratic staffers. Today we're seeing what amounts to a secret confirmation, Wyden said. He told Intercepted, I'm worried that if you have a proceeding like this, a nominee confirmed this way, with zero meaningful declassification, this is not going to be the last secret confirmation. You will see other nominees coming up, and their record will be covered up as well. So the issue they're having is people who want to be confirmed and sworn in the CIA or FBI or any kind of federal agency like this, where there's intelligence being forced out of somebody or used. They want them to be declassified. And I don't really care how much they say they're going to declassify them. You already know that they're not going to give all of the information, and they're not going to give all the secrets away, because that is a, quote, risk to national security. So then they go on saying Wyden blasted the CIA and Haspel for refusing to grant the Senate full access to Haspel's record and choosing instead to provide carefully declassified information intended to burnish Haspel's image. I want the American people to know that the agency is covering up her background. They're covering it up because they're trying to prevent what I think is the threshold issue of accountability. Because if the American people knew what I know, I believe the Senate would have no choice but to reject her confirmation, he said, pointing out that as acting director, Haspel is in charge of what the senators see and don't see about her record. She started with an enormous institutional advantage. I don't know of a similar instance where the nominee gets to decide what is declassified about her and what isn't. In a statement provided to The Intercept, Yasmin Taib, Senator Policy Counsel at the Center for Victims of Torture, said, "It's outrageous that Republican leadership is fast-tracking this vote. The Senate cannot fulfill its constitutional advice and consent responsibilities when the Senate lacks meaningful access to all the documents relevant to this nomination, and when the public, whose job it is to hold their elected representatives accountable, remain largely in the dark." Senators have also asked for more detailed information on Haspel's role in the destruction of 92 video recordings of enhanced interrogations conducted in Thailand. And then they go on in a May 7th briefing to Senate Intelligence Committee staffers, also obtained by The Intercept. Crosby asserted that during Nashiri's torture, unauthorized techniques were also used with authorized techniques. So that's how they cover their ass. They use techniques that are authorized, and they use some that are unauthorized, probably meaning that they're not documented, or that these are have been shown to be techniques that are illegal. Crosby stated that she could not discuss these unauthorized techniques. There you go. Because they remain classified. She cited a public statement from one of the CIA contractors who developed the enhanced interrogation program, psychologist James Mitchell, who said he witnessed an interrogator dousing Nashiri with cold water while using a stiff, bristled brush to scrub his ass and balls, then his mouth, and then blowing cigar smoke in his face until he became nauseous. These are animals. Wow. She offered to brief senators with appropriate security clearances on other classified, unauthorized techniques. The bottom line on the Haspel nomination, said Wyden, is that the vast amount of information about her background could be declassified without compromising sources and methods, and that really does a disservice to the American people. Crosby told Senate staffers that the CIA's methodology consisted of strategic assaults, multiple traumas inflicted simultaneously as well as consecutively, and a manner designed to instill terror and maximize harm to the prisoners. The interrogation program, she stated, showed that torture is not just a crime of physical violence, but a way of destroying someone's humanity, Crosby added. It is important to note that the barbarity of the torture methods used were shrouded and concealed in sterile euphemisms. It's funny how they got all this to say about one person who was tortured in Guantanamo Bay or wherever the hell he was. And then you got black folks out here being killed left and right, being hung and lynched all over the place. We don't even get to the goddamn interrogation portion. So I hope the bitch don't get in. That's just how I feel. But I'm not going to read the rest of this bullshit. Y'all can go through and read it. I'm going to leave the link in the description box because it seems like it's a bunch of lying. And lying, scheming, and whiteism, as you see, with the colonizers. But yeah, I'm getting tired of reading this crap. If it's not in the news, then there's a reason why it's not in the news, because there's too much truth in this article, especially at the end, when they were describing what they actually did to him. I hope he gets justice for what has happened to him, especially if he's not even guilty of the crimes they are accusing him of. But like I said, you let me know what you think, because like I said, I'm just like, okay, done. But like I always say, like, comment, subscribe. Please share the video if you wish to. Share the link especially. It'll be in the description box. These are the types of stories I think that are more important for us to have discussions about instead of hair and makeup. If you catch my drift, put a 1 in the comment section along with your comment, and I'll see y'all later.